technically, do we have a quorum since there's 4 of us? Even though I'm interim chair, that still counts, right?
Sorry, I have pneumonia.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay,
you
all
should
right.
have 7, and you have 4 of the 7, so you have a quorum.
Right, which is a majority, right? All right, so we need to officially open the meeting, even though it's been recorded since like 6:40, where we were chatting. All right, and let's do, since we're recording, I don't have that statement to read about meeting remotely, but at this point, we don't have a room to meet in because somebody else used, somebody of the planning, some sort of committee is
Master
using the room we usually meet. And so we're opening the meeting at 7:12. Can somebody quickly take minutes? Because Jean and Mike are not here, our recording secretary, and Mike Mendelier are not here.
I can take minutes. Or at least
Thank
try.
you.
Thanks, Nick.
Okay, thanks. We really appreciate it. All right, so tonight we're here to discuss the special town meeting. This special town meeting, there's an article we need to discuss. The special town meeting is currently scheduled for August 9th at 6 o'clock at Misco Hill School. As Kim described Kim Newman, the town administrator, described at the select board meeting, there was a broken link in one of these in the spreadsheet we used to balance the budget. And right now that has led to a discovery of approximately $373,000 in available funds within the levy limit, meaning that we're not discussing cuts at this point to town services. We're also not discussing holding a joint town meeting at this point, nor are we discussing an override. Right now, the motion, it says to raise and appropriate an additional $321,000 to Mendon Upton's Regional School District for FY 2022 budget, voted as part of Article 4 at the May 28, 2021 annual town meeting, shown in the report to the Finance Committee to the citizens of Mendon fiscal year 2022. Department 301, line B3, operational additional, bringing the total appropriation to the Mendon Upton Regional School District to $10,920,884. I would take a motion to approve the article. We'll have discussion, of course.
So moved.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you. Is there a discussion?
Heather, can you give me the dollar amount again? The dollar
I think-
amount?
And
Yep.
Jay has his hand raised too.
Yeah,
The number that's in the motion is from the town accountant. I gave the number that's $1,000 different. Jay, you can tell me which one is the one.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. The number I have, the total amount should be $10,921,477.
okay.
The net
So
increase of $320,593.
Yeah, but right, but we're giving you the 321 unless we're going
Right.
to change.
Well, so that means either the school committee has to recertify again in order to get that extra $400, or we're probably just going to assess you on this. I mean, it's fine what you do at town meeting. You'll have an extra $400 left, I think.
Yeah.
It's not really worth it for us to recertify and send out all that stuff again.
Yeah, no, I mean, we rounded it up just in case, but whatever, we can round it down. We'll do it on the floor.
Yeah, well, yeah, it doesn't matter. So what's the number you have then, Kim?
The one that Heather just
We-
read is the one that is from the town accountant.
And then how much was that?
The assessment, the additional assessment to Mendon Upton is $321,000 even.
Okay,
The total appropriation to Mendon Upton is $10,920,884.
Well, that's less than what I have at 325.93, so something's not right there.
Oh, Jesus. What I got, hold on.
Because we need to vote on the correct motion. Right? I mean, I just want to make sure that we have the correct numbers that we're discussing in this motion before we vote.
Well, okay.
Right? Don't we have to do that?
No, you can basically just vote on the 321. The total doesn't actually matter till we get to the motion on the floor, because it could actually be changed on the floor. Less, not more.
Right.
Okay. I'm a newbie here, so
Well, if I'm not
A little bit
mistaken,
of
though,
a
as long as we appropriate, raise and appropriate, that means it's available, to pay.
Right. So Kim, the number I have based on the 321 net increase should be 10,921,884.
That's what I have.
Okay, you're correct then, and the accountant is not.
Yeah, right. That's-
okay, so it
What's
should
the,
be,
what's the number again?
Should be 10,921,884.
That's what I have.
all
That's
right,
what I
so
sent to
it
the
was
crier.
written. Just make sure, or I'll try to add that in here, because don't I have to physically write a motion or type one up?
Just for
Yeah,
for
we'll
what
have
it's
it.
worth,
We'll
in
have
the
it for you.
spreadsheet that was actually passed, right, before this it was 10,600,884. So if
Right.
you add the 321,000 onto that, it would be 10,921,884.
Okay, got it. All right.
Right.
Okay. So we just need to, when I read this, make sure it's 10 million,
Well, I don't think you even have to. do that.
921,
I mean, you can
884.
answer
I don't have
somebody's
to read that.
question that way, but
Okay.
all you need to read in the motion is the 321,000 additional. You know.
Okay. All right. Got it. Okay. Yeah, because I really don't know what I'm doing here. Because Mike, you were so good.
Well, you know what? I mean, quite honestly, even for this one article, if you want the Board of Selectmen, the Select Board, to do the motion,
Right.
and then all to do is have the moderator ask for a recommendation from the FinCom.
Right. Can
And
we
just
do
a
that?
recommendation.
Yes.
Sure, absolutely.
And maybe this moderator will remember that part.
Okay.
It's
Maybe
only
the
one
old
article.
moderator,
We're
I'm sorry,
making it as
maybe the
easy as
former
possible.
moderator will remind him.
No. Listen, we have made it, this should be a 10-minute meeting. It's right.
Okay.
We've
All
made
right.
it as simple as possible.
All right. So is there discussion from members of the FinCom? Mike, Nick, or Jack?
No.
No, Jack, you're muted.
Yeah, Jack.
Yeah, none here, and thank you for the explanation, and thank you to Jay and to Jean for
And Dan.
and Grant for
Mhm.
Yeah, Daniel gets the credit on this one.
Yeah, totally. I'm like, I told him I felt like my heart was broken. Like I was over making these lists of things we've been working towards rebuilding, and he basically healed it. I mean, just so relieved.
Right,
So,
for this
it's a
year,
miracle.
right? But
For this
as we
year,
know,
yes. Well, for this year, and I'll take it,
Right, we
honestly.
need
I've been
to-
sick for a month. I don't care. This is a gift. I'm taking it.
yeah, okay. Nick, did you have any discussion to add?
No.
Okay. So the motion has been moved and seconded. Because we're on a remote meeting, we'll take a roll call vote.
This is Jack, and I'm in favor of a favorable recommendation on town meeting.
So you can, yeah. Oh, you can say Jack, aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Mike Jones, aye.
Nick, aye.
Heather Alcock, aye. We have a unanimous approval. a recommendation of this motion for the special town meeting? All right. Because our recording secretary is not here, we don't have any minutes to approve. That was another item on our agenda. And for the 3 members that are here, besides myself, we need to set another meeting because I don't know if it got confused between the combo select board FinCom meeting, but the Wednesday meeting to reorganize was not posted. So we'll have to cancel that meeting. It wasn't posted by the town clerk. So I think we have to come up with an agenda and post to attend at the special town meeting, correct, Kim?
Yes.
Okay. So let's have an agenda. Is there agenda items for the special town meeting? Other than
No, this
The-
one, this is it.
one
So you-
article?
This is the one article, and I mean, I'd say it's debatable whether everyone even needs to go. I know there are some COVID concerns again, and so just,
Okay.
here we go again,
Can we
right?
get it done before September?
Well, yeah, we're gonna do it next week. Hopefully the meeting takes 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You could reorg right before, you can post your meeting for 10 minutes before the special, you know what I mean? You could reorg right on the
That's
spot.
fine.
Right.
And just open the meeting
And
there.
then you just,
I-
right, and then you just put attend special town meeting as your second item, and you're
Right.
done.
And then we'll maybe at the special town meeting, or if you can send me your availability, we need to meet to elect a new chair and vice chair, and we have a recording secretary, but I think, don't we have to have a secretary officer? Or no? No. All right, so chair and vice chair.
You really just need a chair, but vice chair is good if the chair isn't around, right?
Or if they get elected to the select board.
Which frequently happens. It's a natural,
It sure
it's a
does. Yes,
natural
that
line,
that
which I
is true.
highly recommend to anyone that's interested. It's well, it's a natural progression,
I
and
can't help it. I'm only teasing.
well, you have to win first. Just kidding.
Hey, no, I tried. But I had a great time. I had a great time doing it. So, and that's what got me here. And I'm just as excited to be here.
Listen, I'm
Out of
thrilled with
curiosity,
anybody- yeah.
out of curiosity, does anybody have any set interests in chair? Do we know vice chair? Is that something the group has talked about? Like, we're talking about voting, and I don't know that anybody's even expressed any interest, and it's not because I don't know, because I understand that I don't know. I just don't know the dynamic of the group yet. This is only
Well,
my
I think at
meeting.
one meeting, Nick indicated that if he had to, he would.
That's a resounding, enthusiastic.
Am I mischaracterizing what you said, Nick?
Yeah, no, I mean, I do. Yes, if no one else would step forward, I would step forward to fill that, but by no means do I want to block if someone is highly interested in taking that role.
I would be happy to, without any understanding of what I'm doing, and learn on the way. So if everyone was interested in helping me along in that process, I would be happy to help the group to do so. Like, happy to do it. Don't know what I'm doing, asking a lot of questions, but I'd be happy to do it. Like,
Well, can I just add some context for this? This year is going to be a little bit different. So it's actually not a bad year for a new person to step in, sort of, whether you know or not, history or not, because, we have a new finance department with a finance director who will probably primarily be the main point of contact. Once things transition a little bit more, it'll be me and that person. And so there's we're going to do financial policies this year. We're also going to be doing a lot of work with the schools over the year. We're not dropping the ball on that. So so someone, hopefully, I mean, I know it's the board's responsibility, but obviously there's strength in numbers, and it would be great to have, the FinCom chair be able to attend those meetings too, if possible, when we have them. I'm not saying it's going to be 1 million, but it's going to be a little bit more work than it has been in the past, I think, this year. But a good year to learn because you'll be in it, right? So this school thing needs a
And-
solution. So
And we've interviewed 2 other candidates to join the FinCom, and they have not been voted on yet by the select board. So there may be other people interested. Once with the conclusion of the special town meeting, I will be stepping down from the FinCom officially. So I'm going to send my information to Ellen, I think is who I have to send it to officially, and I will notify the select board.
Well, Heather, we'll be sad to see you go for sure.
Sure.
I know, it's just, I just don't have it. I've been on almost 8 years. It's been
You've done
You
your
know,
time. You've done
7
your
and a half
time.
year.
So-
I've done my time, and it's, I have other stuff that I'm doing, and it's, as much as I liked helping with the schools and being the liaison to the schools for the budget subcommittee, it's
Sure.
too much. And I've got other stuff going on. So that'll be my official retirement, and which is why I wanted to reorganize this Wednesday.
May I ask you a question, Heather?
Yeah.
I shared sentiment in that.
Yes.
Thank you for your service, and you'll
Mhm.
definitely be missed. A question though, would it make sense, and perhaps we could get some insight from Kim, for us to reorganize after we have a full complement of members? I'm just kind of wondering out loud if perhaps we have a full complement of all members.
I think you got to pick somebody and we got to move, only because that's it really, let's be honest, it really doesn't matter that much who the chair is, right? Doesn't really matter except for the obligations of being available and organizing, right? Because it's not as if you're doing additional workload, you're basically running the meetings, right? And so I just think based upon the talk about the school wanting to get together in September, I just don't, and if Heather really wants to jump, sooner is better. You can switch every year anyway. So
Mhm.
I don't know that it really matters that much. I'm just saying before anyone agrees that they want to do this or is forced to do it,
Mhm.
understand that.
You know, Kim,
yeah,
Kim, my question, I think it's marvelous that Mike wants to step forward, and I think that that's fantastic. So my question had nothing to do with that. My question was really in the vein of having unanimity or a consensus around, for example, Mike's candidacy from a full complement, I think is
I agree.
better than having 4 members.
certainly.
No, I agree. I
Your
agree.
membership is dropping by the day. And so before we don't have a quorum, let's, just throwing that out there. It makes me a little bit nervous. That's all.
Has there
Kim,
been another member that's dropped?
No, but I just, I get nervous when we start to get
Well-
down into the low number, but from a process standpoint for me, you guys sort it out any which way you want. I'm just saying,
Well, is
You
there?
know,
I mean,
Is there
Norm
some- is there
hasn't been
some-
to a meeting in 6 weeks.
right.
Is there some impediment to the Board of Selectmen acting on the 2 candidates that we had forwarded? Or is that like not in the cards because they just want to wait for additional
No,
candidates?
they don't want to wait. They were just waiting for a recommendation to come out and to a point, just like they did with Mike last time, which is,
did that not come out?
Well, it
Well-
should, that's just it. I'm kind of wondering if there's a disconnect.
But like, what's the holdup? They said that
Right.
they listened for Mike's candidacy. They listened to our FinCom meeting and voted, even though we never voted. We liked him and we were happy to interview him and felt like he would be a good member. But we never took a vote, and they voted and approved him anyway.
Right.
We actually voted to send forward the other 2 candidates.
see, I don't have that.
Yeah,
So-
see, that's what prompted my question, Kim, is
I
that
don't have it.
there should be 2 candidates sort of on the runway
The
for the
queue.
Board of Selectmen to approve, at which point we'd have a full complement with now
No,
Heather's
I don't have-
departure.
We have
So-
approved minutes that state so.
Okay,
And a-
great.
and
So
a-
I don't
and a
understand.
Send them over to me. So that's the, again, I had no
I
idea
don't
that
have
you
them. Jean
had even
has
done
them.
that post Mike. So yeah,
Yep.
I would say, I mean, the board's interest, so, you know, we got what, a dozen boards, right, with all different vacancies. A lot of them have been sitting vacant for too long. We got to get these seats filled. I mean, and it's incredibly frustrating when people want to volunteer and then, you know, it's pushed off 6 months, 3 months, whatever. I mean, it just looks
Yeah.
bad.
Yep, but
So-
we never sent any paperwork saying that we supported Mike Jones's candidacy. The select board took our conversation that was recorded on a meeting and decided to vote. And yet now we actually took a vote. We have meeting minutes.
Yeah, but then we don't,
And now all of a sudden, well, nobody has that information. So that
so
seems
where would we get it
problematic.
from?
to me.
I mean, the only,
I believe Jean was going to send
right.
that after our last meeting to the select board. I think that's what we decided.
Yeah, I
Right.
think that's exactly
So
right.
if
Nick.
if she did send it, I haven't seen it or heard of it. We certainly are anxious to fill all the seats on all the boards,
Yeah.
especially coming into the fall.
Yeah, so you can
Um,
understand, Kim, where my
We're
suggestion.
a little
to-
frustrated.
Now, well, I mean, it sounds like it was just a disconnect here, but that is the reason why I put forward the notion of getting those two folks on board, because then now we're in a position, Mike to raise his hands, and then presumably we reach some sort of consensus around Mike's candidacy as the chair, and then be concluded with it with the two new members joining, right?
Right?
Well,
And
whichever-
hopefully Norm as well.
Yeah, whichever way you want to sort it out is fine. I'm just saying the board's only goal in these is trying to fill the seats for people who volunteer so that, and they don't leave them hanging.
Well,
That's
well,
basically.
I can represent to you, and I think Heather and Nick and Mike can jointly represent to you that we forwarded these two candidates. So if
Okay.
you can put them on the agenda
Sure.
and then simply get back to us that those are the two that the board has appointed, then I think we're done. We could probably
Yeah,
do
you
it
are.
all by way of email.
Well, but we only have one spot right now, right?
Well, Heather,
They-
right. one
as
spot
of
right now,
Monday,
and-
there'll be 2 spots.
Okay. So
Right.
that's fine. So then the board will meet probably, well, we're meeting at STM, but so figure a week or so after that. Usually we don't meet the following week, we'd meet again and we can do it then. I'm not anticipating any problem. I mean, the goal is definitely to fill the boards, you know, as fast as possible with people who volunteer.
Because frankly, if Madam Chair, if you're willing to entertain it, I'm certainly willing to move this evening if Mike is willing to be the chair. I just am wondering about a vote here of 4 members as opposed to,
Right.
folks who aren't here and the like. And
I'm happy to do it, but it seems better to have these other members as part of the team prior to something like this. Like I'm sure it's just a formality, but I feel like,
You want the support.
yeah, why wouldn't you want to
Exactly.
support?
And I will
Exactly.
also add, even though it hasn't been the practice in the last couple of years, it used to rotate every year. And it can. I mean, if that's something,
Yeah. Fine.
because honestly, you all know the burden is equally shared. So, it's just, there's nothing different that the chair is doing that the rest of the members can't do. It's the same.
Right.
and
It used to rotate like FinCom. I mean, like selectmen, select board.
Exactly.
for
And
the select
usually it
board.
was like the vice chair then became the next year, and that's how they learned. And then the reason it got stopped like this is because Chris then went on to the board, right? Mike was the vice chair, Chris was the chair, and then he went on to the select board, and then Mike moved into the spot, and then that basically has been a holding pattern because again, you need someone willing to do it. So, but it is a good year for learning, that's for sure.
Well, I think that's a
Busy year.
I think that's a great idea, Kim, and I think it's a great idea that perhaps even among the candidates that the board wants to appoint, there may be, and I think we want to at least be open to the opportunity that they may express a desire to be, a vice chair as well. And we could do it in one fell swoop, it seems to me, Madam Chair. So I think if it's okay with you, I think it'd be a good idea if we have a full complement to lend support to, the candidacy of those who want to, have the courage to step forward and step up to the plate like that. And I think they deserve the support of an up and down vote by a full complement of the board is my recommendation.
Yeah, I would say that that's correct. So I don't know when Mike and Jean are back. I know they had to go to a funeral. We didn't post for Wednesday. Even though I sent it to Jean to post. Somehow Ellen, I don't know if it got mixed up because I sent them on the same day. Ellen didn't post, so we are not having a meeting on Wednesday. So I will, I just don't want to leave the board without a chair. So could we vote on an interim chair tonight or no? For after the,
You can,
because I'm not coming to another FinCom meeting after Monday.
this is what I was talking about. Somebody just take it and you can.
I'm happy to take it.
Swap it
I'm happy
around
to take it
later.
in an interim. I'm happy to take it in an interim and
Right.
and
So
work
I'd like
through it.
to make a motion that starting
Wait,
August 10th of 2021, Mike Jones be considered the interim chair of the Finance Committee until, nope, can't do that.
vice chair, make him the vice chair.
Ah, there we go. So because, how about this? Let me rewind that. Because at this point we have no vice chair of the Finance Committee, and should the chair step down, which the interim chair will be stepping down on Monday, after Monday, August 9th, I would like to make a motion that Mike Jones be considered interim chair of the Finance Committee,
Wait,
or I'm sorry, the vice chair of the Finance Committee.
Then you can do all the things we just talked about.
Right,
Yeah.
until FinCom reorganizes once all the members are
Makes
present.
sense.
Then you have a point person, then Heather, you're good. Sorry, I'm just saying.
Right.
Covers everything we need right now.
Yeah, I'm happy to second that motion of the chair.
Okay. Is there any discussion?
No, I just appreciate Mike stepping up and willing to volunteer and volunteer more. So thank you.
Please be patient.
Do you have access to email?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yep.
So, all right. Is there any further discussion?
None here.
Oop.
Let's take a roll call vote.
Jack, aye.
Nick, aye.
Heather, aye.
I don't know. Do I vote?
You would abstain since
I
you're
abstain.
voting on yourself.
Thank you. I abstain.
Passes by majority.
Congratulations.
All right, congratulations, Mike.
Thank you.
New chair of the committee. So I will make sure to send an email to Jean and to Ellen in case Jean can't get to it, with the agenda to post for the special town meeting. And then I will, it's just to clarify, Kim, the Board of Selectmen is going to make the motion. The town moderator will ask the FinCom for its opinion. And I need to just read a statement that says the FinCom voted unanimously to support the motion.
Support, and then you're going to vote individually anyway. So a couple of you will stand up and vote no, but it's basically, it's a formality, right, for an expenditure, right? So
Got it.
again, I'm hoping there's 20 people there and that it goes pretty fast. So,
Well, I think there'll be more than 20.
well, I think we're having it in the gym. And
Yeah.
hey, just saying, you know, as sick as I've been this month, it, yeah, it's no joke. I don't know. So,
All
okay.
right. So
Anyway.
excellent. And then
Heather-
Mike,
Heather, just-
yes, go ahead.
I assume I type up these notes and then send them to Jean. Is that what I do?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
And Heather, I just wanted to point out my review of the minutes that at least are in the email chain right now from Jean. I don't think those reflect the changes that we had talked about the motion to forward the two candidates. I just wanted you to understand that those are not. I don't believe those are the updated minutes. So I think my recollection is Jean had really two things that she was going to do. One, she was going to update and modify the minutes. Nick, you're nodding. My recollection.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay.
And then the second thing she was going to do is she was going to forward this on to Kim, so Kim knew
Okay.
what
So
the
probably didn't get there yet.
sentiments of the.
Okay. So maybe she didn't get there yet, but
Exactly, perhaps on vacation or the like. Yeah.
yeah, I don't think they're I think they're at a funeral or something, but they're out of town.
Or sadly. At a
Yeah.
funeral.
So, okay.
Well,
And then I will send out an email to Ellen tomorrow. The event that is going to initiate my stepping down from the
Terrific.
FinCom
So,
is the conclusion of the special town meeting.
Madam Chair,
August 9th.
would you entertain then a motion to have the next FinCom meeting just in advance of the special town meeting, as Kim indicated? Is that what you want the date to be? The next FinCom meeting then will be just
You won't-
in advance of the special.
Yeah, it'll
You-
be like 10, we'll open it 10 minutes before the
Got it.
meeting.
Right.
Yeah.
We
So it
aren't
also,
meeting, we aren't meeting again. The board isn't meeting. Well, we have a posted meeting for Wednesday. But it's off-site, and then we have a meeting Thursday in Upton. So we don't really have an opportunity to do candidate stuff this week. So we're not going to get that done before the STM. Just isn't
Yeah.
going to happen.
Yeah,
So-
no pressure either.
Yeah, no, we'll
yeah.
definitely do it. I already texted Mark and I said, while we were doing this, and I said, do you have any idea that we got two candidates? And he said, no. So there you go. So that's where we're at.
Yeah.
So it'll happen.
we interviewed them, and
Right.
my understanding is that you all review our meetings. That's how it got kicked for Mike to be supported.
Well, I was at the meeting and I relayed the conversation during the selectmen's meeting when I was asked. Right.
All right, so what's the mechanism for future? It won't be my issue because I won't be on the finance committee.
So,
But in the future, we should have some clear policies and practices about how new members join, how we vote, how we recommend them to the Board of Selectmen,
okay.
right?
Well,
Moving forward,
So
I
this
would
is
say.
a policy we actually created a couple of years ago because it was no pre-existing policy. Basically, the board has the right to appoint whoever they want to when there's a vacancy on these boards. And what was happening is candidates would come to the Board of Selectmen and they would interview and then they would appoint them and then they'd show up to these meetings and they have never been to a meeting or the board didn't know them. And so basically
Yeah.
they said, we want to have a little bit more input over what's happening. And the other thing that triggered it, which was going around, is that people weren't responding to whether or not they wanted to continue on these boards. So you'd have people who didn't show up to many meetings. And so you send out an email, we try to call them, they wouldn't indicate whether they wanted to stay or not, and they'd be automatically reappointed. We stopped doing that. We just wanted basically just an email letting us know that you want to stay on the board, right? And that's created some issues. So going forward, what I'd say is, we like to have the candidates interviewed before the boards, before we appoint someone. But if there is a situation in which we're headed down or we're barreling towards something, the board will appoint. I mean, they don't, and
I
again,
don't even remember their names. Does anybody remember their names?
One was Nick, I believe, and
Ron Zabuto is one.
Okay.
I don't remember the first gentleman's name.
police officer. I have it. Was it Ron?
Yeah, he was.
Ron was the second guy.
oh yeah, yeah.
Jason, I have it right here. It's Jason.
Right,
I
and
can't-
you
his last name.
can, we will normally say, just like town meeting, what's the FinCom's recommendation? That's what we're looking for. And you could say no, and they might still say yes, the board might appoint them anyway, you could say, yeah, I mean, that's just,
Right.
it basically just was.
It's a courtesy. It's a courtesy.
Correct.
That's-
I mean, these boards are advisory boards to the Board of Selectmen, well, Select Board, that's what they serve as.
Right.
And so, yeah, I mean, we want the best we want people who are genuinely interested, period. You know, but sometimes we take bodies to fill the seats, let's be honest. I mean, because once they get on and a lot of people don't know what they're getting themselves into. And they, you know, they think they want to participate, but then they see it's really boring or whatever, you know what I mean? I try to usually stare them when they're trying to leave, like Heather, onto another board. But usually what happens is, for the people who've been on FinCom for a long time, what I'll tell you is I think it's a lot less work up on the select board than it is on the FinCom, but because you have employees basically, right? FinCom is a lot of work on your own, a lot of time invested without the return a lot of the time, right? In the select board, at least, I think you feel like you get that return, but the flip side is you get the public pressure is a lot. And so you have to weigh that, if it's worth it or not. And so I applaud you for not going that route. That's not usually how this goes, but I get it.
Well, you never know. I
Yeah.
could run for select board. I sure doubt it, but it's
Or
possible.
school board, Heather, school
Or
board.
school committee.
Lord
That's
knows we
true.
need some people on the school committee who understand
Who
math.
understand
Sorry.
budgeting.
Yeah.
That is,
Doubling back though, should we, and
Yeah.
I don't have their contact information, but should we reach out to Jason and Ron and let them know kind of the schedule?
We
of the
will.
board, so that they're
We
not
will.
left in limbo?
Yeah, so what will happen is, assuming I'll get this information, Laura, my assistant, will reach out to them because
Okay,
we'll put them on a scheduled agenda, right? And say, you were interviewed by the FinCom, the board would like to interview you as well. Can you make this next meeting at whatever, such and such a time?
I think that's,
So we'll handle that. You just gotta forward what you have.
Thank you so much, Kim. Thank you for that.
Yeah,
Good.
sorry, I know, it's,
No,
Everything
no,
is-
I'm glad we had this discussion.
there's a lot of moving parts right now, I get it.
yeah, and I mean, I've only been here, this is my 8th year, but I can tell you, these boards are impossible to keep filled all the time. And so it's
Well-
really difficult. And so if you get the opportunity to get people on, you take it.
Well,
So-
these two candidates were both, I think, I can't speak for the board, I'll speak for myself, both earnest and interested, and I
For sure.
thought both impressive, so.
Excellent. Okay, well, I'll see you all in a week, hopefully.
All right.
All right.
On my
I-
second dose of
I move to-
antibiotics,
I
it'll
move
be
to adjourn.
better. So,
then.
yeah.
I would move to adjourn.
do
Second,
we have a second?
Second.
Excellent.
A second.
Heather Alcock, aye.
Aye, Jack.
hi, Nick.
Mike Jones, aye.
Excellent. Meeting is adjourned.
All right, thank you.
Thank you,
guys.
everybody. Great week.
All right.
Thanks.
Take
Thank you.
care.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.